The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Orathai Sitthichan. Chapter 19. Pride's Day. The summer holidays were approaching. The teacher always savored, girls savored than ever, for he wanted the school to do well on Pride's Day. His stick was seldom idle now, and Mr. Dobbin's punishments were really energetic ones, too, although he carried under his fair hair a perfectly healthy and shiny head. He had felt hair. He had only reached middle age and showed no signs of weakness. As the great day approached, he seemed to take a fierce pressure and punishing the least misbehavior. The result was that the smallest boys spent their days in terror and their nights in planning revenge. At last they hit upon a plan which promised a glorious victory. They hit upon a plan which promised a glorious victory. As the teacher looked at the side painter's house, the boys asked the side painter's son to help them. He agreed at once because he too disliked the teacher. Mrs. Dobbins would go on a visit to the country in a few days, and there would be nothing to interfere with the plan. Mr. Dobbins always prepared himself for great occasions such as Pride's Day by having a little too much to drink, and the side painter's boy said that he was confident that he could carry out his part of the plan. While the teacher was having a short sleep in his chair, then he would have him awake at the right time and hurry away to school. The great occasion arrived at 8 in the evening. The school was brightly lighted and decorated with flowers. The teacher sat in his armchair upon a platform, with his blackboard behind him. He was very cheerful. In front of him were rows of chairs occupied by the most important people of the town and by the parents of the pupils. To his left was another platform, upon which were seated the scholars who were to take part in the exercise of the evening. The list of the schoolroom was filled with the other pupils. The exercise began. A very little boy stood up and sheepishly recited, "You scarce except one of my age to speak in public on the stage," accompanying himself with the painfully exact and stiff motions which a machine might have made, supposing that machine to be a trifle out of order. A little shell-faced girl murmured. Mary had a little lamp, was slightly up front, and sat down blushing and happy. Tom Sawyer stepped forward with vain confidence and rushed into the "Give me liberty" or "Give me death" speech with fine fury and broke down in the middle of it. The teacher followed and discompleted the disaster. Tom staggered for a time and then retired utterly defeated. There was a weak attempt at a prank, but it died early. The boy stood on the burning deck, and other masterpieces of recitation followed. Then there were reading exercises and a spelling fight. The small Latin class recited with credit. The highlight of the evening, original compositions by the young ladies now come. Each in her turn stepped forward to the edge of the platform, cleared her throat, held up her paper, which was tied with pretty ribbons, and ceased to read with special attention to expression and punctuation. The first prize was won by a black-eyed, black-haired young lady with a mournful expression. Her composition on Ovation was considered the finest effort of the evening, and the mayor of the village, after delivering the prize to her, made a warm speech in which he said that it was the finest thing he had ever listened to and that it was worthy of the country's greatest statesman. Now the teacher put his chair aside, turned his back to the audience, and began to draw a map of America on the blackboard, upon which to exercise the geography class. But he did it very badly, because his hand was unchastised. A low laugh ran round the room. He knew what was wrong and set himself to right it. He rubbed outlines and remade them, but the laughter grew louder, and with good reason. There was a storeroom above, and the entrance to it was just above his head. Down through his opening came a cat, hanging from a string tied round her body. She had a red fire stand about her head, and just to prevent her from making a noise. As she gently descended, she curved upwards and seized the string with her claws. They swung downwards and clawed at the air. The laughter grew louder and louder. The cat was within 6 inches of the teacher's head, down a little lower, and she seized his false hair with her desperate claws, held it, and was snatched up into the storeroom in an instant with her pride still in her possessions. And how the light blazed from the teacher's hairless head, for the science painted boy and covered it with girl paint. That broke up the meeting. The boys had their revenge.